Hi everyone, I'm Kathleen and this is Kathleen's Trot and Trail. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd of July, and I'm back again after just a couple of days because for a couple reasons. Number one, I gave you some bad information and I wanted to be sure I fixed that and let everybody know the correct information. And then it was also such a horrible video filmed on my laptop rather than my iPad and filmed in poor lighting. And so I kind of wanted to see if I could at least fix the lighting a little bit. And in case I have to film like this going forward, I don't know how to fix the issue between my iPad and uploading videos to YouTube. So I'll figure that out, but I kind of wanted to see if this lighting, if I sat in a different spot. I'm still in my sewing room. I'm actually sitting at my sewing table. My machine is right here. But I thought I could just hop on here really quick and correct my incorrect information and show you what I've been working on. There were four pieces that I had worked on in the last month that I forgot to show you the other day, and they're really they were in a spot where I keep all my current whips, and I failed to grab from there, and so they're really things that I've worked on quite a bit. So anyway, first of all, let's start with correcting the information that I gave you. I showed you on Sunday a piece by Sarah Germani, and I could not figure out what the name of it was. And I have the PDF, and the PDF is on my iPad, and so I went and looked, and I put this in the information box below on the last video, but I just wanted to go ahead and give you the information straight from my mouth. So it's Sarah Germani, and the name of the piece is called White Christmas, and at least the PDF is available on Etsy. So if you're interested in purchasing the PDF, you can get it on Etsy and see all of her wonderful charts that are kind of like those town charts, which sort of has a town, country, Christmas scene kind of thing. And that piece was, I couldn't remember where I had seen it, whose Floss Tube I was watching, and she commented on the video, and I realized it almost as soon as I was finished taping on Sunday, but it is the Pieced Pineapple, and she is new to Floss Tube, fairly new to stitching, or at least has come back fairly recently, I believe she said, to stitching. And oh my gosh, she has some beautiful, beautiful projects, and she does a wonderful whip parade in her first Floss Tube, and she's just terrific. So if you haven't watched her, I can't remember who I was watching that recommended her, or if her video just came up as a recommendation on YouTube, and that's how I found her. But she's the Pieced Pineapple, and she's terrific. So I'll link her down below in this as well. And so that was White Christmas. The other one that I wasn't sure about, and I still can't figure out who else is stitching this, although I don't know. I had mentioned, I had shown you the Glendon Place pirate ship Halloween piece that I was stitching, and I had said that I thought I'd maybe seen it on Vino Stitchers. That's another great Floss Tube channel, Vino, V-I-N-O Stitchers. I'll also link them below. Mother-daughter team, and just some lovely, lovely projects. They are very prolific in smalls and getting lots of smalls done, and just a lot of really neat stuff. So check them out if you haven't. But I had mistakenly said that that they were working on the Glendon Place Pirates piece, and no, it wasn't them. She had commented on the video and said, no, it wasn't us, and she had listed another Floss Tuber that she'd seen who was working on it, but that was someone that I hadn't watched. So I went back through my history as far back as I could go, and I didn't figure out who it was that I watched that was also stitching that piece. But anyway, check out Vino Stitchers and Pieced Pineapple. Okay, I wanted to, let's start with the stuff I missed out on last time. Well, I feel like I showed this to you. I think I showed you that piece. Oh goodness, now I'm going to be disorganized here. And I'm in the same boat again of not being able to edit this video. So, yeah, I can't remember. Okay, I know I didn't show you this piece, and this is really the piece that I've worked on, and I just threw one of my whips on the floor. Darling and Whimsy is the name of this designer, and I believe they are on Etsy. But if you just Google Darling and Whimsy, this designer has a lot of really, and I don't know if it's you know, a male or a female or a couple, or I don't know who Darling Whimsy is, but that's the name of the company. And they had this beautiful band sampler, nativity band sampler done in black. My iPad keeps wanting to go blank, or my laptop. They had this beautiful piece done in on black linen, I believe it was, or maybe Ada, and I saw it and I loved it. I fell in love with it, and I wanted to do it. And I thought, oh, I just really struggle with black. But I went through my fabric stash, and I have a drawer of just black and kind of slate fabric. I went through my fabric stash, and I found a piece of even weave, and I wish I knew where I found it. I have no idea where it came from, but it was a piece, and it was a very, very narrow piece, a remnant, so I've used it on something else. And it just barely fit, and so I had to actually sew some throwaway fabric on the sides because it was so small. I was struggling. I was getting a cramp holding it since I stitch in hand. But this is my beginning so far, and this is called Nativity Band Sampler by Darling Whimsy, and I just think it's so fun. Now, if you remember me telling you I recorded over an hour video last week that I couldn't get to upload. And one of the things I'd mentioned in that video, when I showed this to you in that video, was that I reworked this side 3 times. 3 times I messed up on this particular penny, I guess it is, on this particular penny, and I had to unstitch from all the way down here all the way back up. Several rows in each penny. And so I finally have it on there, and I have it correct. It needs to be correct. I thought about, you know, I'm not usually one that'll correct small mistakes, but because of where each of the bands lines up, it had to be fixed. It had to be taken out and completely fixed. But anyway, I just love this piece. I think it's so beautiful, and I think, you know, from a distance, it's really just lovely. I did think about doing beads up here for the snow, but you know that the way that white floss pops, I can't remember if it's B5200 or what it is, but it's just, this is all done in DMC, all in the called for. So anyway, Nativity Band Sampler, I think that's an awful lot of fun, and I'm hoping to get that done for Christmas this year. And then I'm going to bend over here and see what I've thrown on the floor. Oh, yeah. This is the one. Okay, so I've been watching, as you know, Sew Me Sarah, my friend Sarah from Northern Ireland, and she and her friend Sally from Flossie Sews and Grows are doing their Fun for 50 Sal, so 50 starts in their 50th birth year. And I kind of jumped on the bandwagon with a lot of other people to see if I could do 50 starts. Well, I was going to do 57 starts because I turned 57 this year, and blew way past that. First, I was like, well, I'll take the year to do 50 starts, and then I could see 50 starts was coming up really soon. And so I thought, well, I'll try to do 57 starts by my birthday. And then as it was, I ended up with 57 plus starts by the end of May. So yeah, anyway. But one of the starts that I know Sarah's doing, and I'm not sure, I can't remember for sure if Sally's doing this as one of her starts or not, but it's this piece, Silver Creek Samplers, My Christmas List, I think is what it's called. if I remember. Yeah, my Christmas list. And the first time I saw this is one of my oldest charts, one of my oldest WIPs. I first saw this when Priscilla did it, back in the days when Priscilla was doing her own, or doing other people's charts before she had started designing. She worked on this, and she did it all in her own called for colors, and it was just beautiful, and I loved it, and I thought, oh, I have to stitch that, and so I got the chart, and I got a start on it. But it was back before I really knew what I really liked as far as fabric, and it was kind of in my early days of coming back to stitching, and I really didn't know a whole lot. And so I started it on a piece of very tight weave. I think it was 36 count. I actually saved it out to show you, and then I recorded that video, and I put it away. But I started in the middle, and I got Santa done, and I got, I think, Old St. Nick and Peppermint, and I had this dove done. And I'm actually going to cut that out. It's all done. It's done. As I said, I think it's on 36 count, 1 thread over 2. And it's very beautiful. I just do not enjoy working 1 thread over 2. It's just not my favorite thing. And so I pulled it out when I saw that Sarah was going to start do this as one of her 50 starts. I pulled it out and worked on it for about 5 minutes and thought, I hate this. I do not want to do this. And I thought, you know what? I really thought about just completely scrapping it. And the more I looked at this, and the more I thought, you know what? I love this chart. I would love to have this up. I'm just going to restart it on a piece of 32 count Cedar River linen that I love, 2 over 2. And so that's what I've done. Of course, I had all the floss for it, and I decided to start it at the top just to do something a little bit different. And so here's my start, and I had the most perfect piece of Cedar River linen already cut. It was, a scrap piece that was this much was cut off of it, perfect for this long skinny band sampler. And I started at the top, and I love working on this. It makes such a difference for me. And it's what I would say. I found this on a couple different pieces that I either didn't like the fabric that I was stitching on, or I didn't like the floss that I was using, or I didn't like the count of the fabric. I won't work on them. I just, I see it and I'll pull it out, and it's not fun. It's not joyful for me. So I got a really decent start, and I'm super excited. This will not be finished for this year, and I'm fine with that. But it's something that I'd like to work on, kind of regularly, just because it is such an old WIP. Sarah this is a little car over here, and I think this has a real maybe like 50s, 60s, Christmas vibe to me. Maybe, I don't know, that car could maybe be like early 70s, I don't know, but anyway, Sarah did her car in red, changed the color, and it looked great, and I really, really thought about changing the color, and then I thought, you know what, blue's my favorite color, and I love this blue, and it's kind of funky to have a blue car, but actually, I do have a blue car, but anyway, I love this, and it's a great chart, easy to follow. I also think, it's a long chart, and I think because I put my charts now into Notes Pro Plus and follow, along from my laptop, or from my iPad actually, and I can make it, the section that I'm working on really big, and I can highlight, and I can cross out, and I can make notes on it. I think that makes those more challenging charts so much easier than they used to be when I just had the actual physical paper chart trying to prop it up, or, I know I tried lots of different things to hold my paper charts, and there are some great ways to hold paper charts now. I just really enjoy, I think for me, doing it on my iPad is really a game changer. Okay, so those are the two. See, now I'm struggling with what I talked about on Sunday versus what I talked about in the video that I ended up not being able to upload, but enough is enough for now. I wanted to show you this. I showed you this last week, and or on Sunday, and I I made a bunch of changes to it. So this is 18, oh, I think it's 1854 House by Teresa Kogut. It's one of her Patreons from several months ago. And I would show you the picture of it, but I don't know how to insert on this particular application. So, anyway, this is pretty much the whole thing, that these pennies are on top, bottom, and sides. And then there's some kind of circles here with little hearts in them. And I kind of had to change. I didn't have a lot of the called for. It was all DMC, all done in DMC, and I didn't have several of the DMC colors, and so I pulled Gloriana's, and which I would prefer to work on. And I mentioned to you how I did the house in a strand of Gloriana and a strand of DMC, and I really love the way that turned out. Well, the chart called for these pink and red tulips. That's what I think these are, tulip flowers. And they were, beautiful on the chart, but because my colorway is so leaning towards the gold, that pink, well, and really the red is probably not perfect. I left the red because it would have been a lot to take out, but I took out that bright pink in the flower and restitched the flower in a Gloriana, very variegated gold. And I like that so much better. I think it looks so great. I also took out, I had a really dull, like a DMC 829 maybe, or I don't know, just a really dull kind of tanny brown, lighter brown, not a deep rich, DMC, but just a real light DMC that I'd kind of thrown in there in here in these scallops in the pot, I guess. And then down here, I don't know if it's on a little hill or what that was. And it dulled the piece down so much. So I took that out, and I used what I used for the light stripes on the cats, which looks great. And then I think I'm going to do, I ended up their eyes and noses and whiskers are charted in 310, and I changed it to, is it 3371, the dark DMC, like chocolate brown. I changed it to that, and I think that's what I'm going to do down here for this hill. So I think that looks so much better, and I'm so much happier with it, and this is a pleasure to stitch. I don't know what it is about some charts. I mean, I have lots of Teresa Koguts and lots of Teresa Koguts on the go, and I enjoy them, but every once in a while I'll just come across a chart that I almost can't put down. And so this will be a finish. I think I'll work solely on this until it's done, and it'll be a finish here this week. So I love that. I'm going to add some initials, and then the date 1854 is backstitched here across the pot, and I'm actually going to change that to 2024. So anyway, so that's that. And I think that looks really, I'm so much happier with it. And I'm curious to know what other people think. Let me know what you think about that red with the gold. If you don't like it, it's okay. I like it, and I'm going to leave it. But I am curious how other people see that. And if it's like to other people, they're, people much more talented than me who have a better eye for color, because I really don't have a very good eye for color. I can follow a pattern and do something that someone tells me to do and make it look great because that was someone else's idea. I have a really hard time having to come up with my own colors for things. But I'm curious. Yeah, let me know what you think about that red with the gold, and if you think it's not so great. I want to know that. I want to know what other people think. I'm leaving it, like I said, and I won't be offended because I know that, color is it's really not my forte at all. So, okay, well, I'm having dinner with a girlfriend tonight, and as you can see, my hair looks a lot better than it looked the other day, doesn't it? But I will tell you that, this takes like 15 minutes to blow dry. For as short as my hair is, it takes like 15 minutes to blow dry. And you can tell I was blow drying because I'm just all sweaty and but I'll go out in the humidity outside, and it's pretty humid today, and it's only like maybe 88, but it's hot, it's humid. It feels like, I think the Weather Channel said it's 88 and it feels like 97 or something like that. And by the time I get home tonight after being out in it, going into the garage to my car and then walking from my car to the restaurant and back out, and then we'll probably stand outside and talk for a while. This piece down here will flip out and the back will just scrunch all up and get very frizzy, and it'll just look, it just won't look anything like it looks right now. So look now, because that you're not going to see this probably again for a while. Okay, well, I have to leave here in a few minutes, so I'm going to sign off. Again, we're leaving August 3rd. I won't see you till we get back. This time, it's a promise. And I hope everyone's doing well. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.